Have you ever wondered how you could go ahead and win at the food prep problem? So many of my friends and many of my clients all struggle with actual food prep when it comes time to start cutting weight and to start trying to get in better shape. Well, this video is for you. I am here to share my secrets on how I knock out my food prep as quickly as possible so I can just get on with my day. Hi, my name is Jen. I am a Gen X 52-year-old woman who is a competitor who's currently in prep, and I am here to share with you all the benefits of the things that I've learned and hopefully share some of my mistakes I've also made along the way so you don't have to make those. So let's talk about food prep. What food prep is the time that you spend, usually on the weekend, getting food prepared and cooked to make it easier for you throughout the week to bring food and eat your own food, because if you're eating food out, chances are you are consuming a ton more calories and fat than you realize, and that's probably sabotaging any efforts that you are making to get yourself in better shape. So, food prep usually consists of creating meals or creating bulk cooked proteins, carbohydrates, and vegetables. So, in this video, I'm going to share with you my go to foods and how long it takes me. The first secret to food prep, as far as I'm concerned, is when you bring your food home, and this is if you're food shopping and food prepping on the same day, which I frequently do. It's not my preferred method, but it is a method that I often do have to do. So, if I am food prepping and food shopping on the same day, I will food shop, get my groceries home, and I will not put away my proteins and my vegetables and the starch that I'm going to cook. It all stays on the counter, because if it doesn't all stay on the counter, out of sight, out of mind, and I will forget to cook it. And then sometime in the middle of the week when I'm overwhelmed and tired and I just don't feel like it, I will probably not want to cook that food. So the best time for me to do it is all together and as quickly as possible. So here are my go-to proteins: salmon, ground turkey, ground beef, chicken breast, thinly sliced. You could also throw some tilapia in there too. So the first things that I usually do right away, super, super easy. I turn on my oven to 420 degrees. I like to put in my sweet potatoes right away. I prefer Japanese sweet potatoes. Those are the potatoes that have the purple outside and the white inside. I love the texture. I like the flavor. It's not as mushy as a regular sweet potato. I think the carbs are slightly less on them, but they just like them so much better. So they are the first thing that gets put into the oven, and I just let them sit. It's usually going to be there at 420 for somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the size of the potato. Crucial tip: pick potatoes that are all the same size, please. If you choose all different size potatoes, they're all going to cook at different times. And this might seem like common sense, but your girl didn't learn this until a little bit later down the road. So the potatoes are in. The next thing that goes is my fish. I take care of my salmon right away. It's salmon is usually the one I go for. As I continue to cut more calories while I'm in the process of contest prep, I might eventually switch to tilapia, but right now I'm in my salmon days. So I will get salmon from Trader Joe's, the barbecue cut ones, because I just don't want to deal with slicing it. That's just what I do. And I'll usually get 6 fillets. I sprinkle some Trader Joe's ranch seasoning on it, which has some dill in it. It's a nice flavor. I'll sprinkle that on the salmon, stick that in my air fryer at 400 degrees for 15 minutes. It usually takes me 2 batches to get those 6 fillets cooked. So that's already happening. Super easy stuff. Next, while the salmon is cooking and I have the sweet potatoes cooking, I start getting into the other meat that I have. So I will get thinly sliced chicken breast. Yes, it's more expensive. And my focus in this video is time efficiency, not cost efficiency. So if I wanted to have something that was cheaper, I would not buy pre-cut salmon or thinly sliced chicken breast. I would just do that myself. But for me right now, the time helps. So I get thinly sliced chicken breast, usually 2 pounds of that, and I season it with salt, pepper, garlic powder, sometimes Goya adobo, and I will put it on a grill pan that I already have heated at medium to high heat. I'll put a little butter on there, which, butter makes everything taste much better. And I cook that for maybe 4 minutes each side, and they're fully cooked. They taste great. That's done. So I already have that. Two proteins are done in 30 minutes. Ugh. Now that the two proteins are done, I will usually go in and cook my green beans and my spinach. Those are my two go to vegetables because they're super easy and quick to cook, take virtually no time. Green beans, I can get cooked inside of 8 minutes. I use a large frying pan. I coat the bottom of that with maybe a half inch of water. The rest are green beans after I rinse them. Put them in there with that water boiling. It essentially steams them. Cover that for a few minutes, turning the green beans over, and then for like the last 3 minutes, I take the top off, put some butter in there, like a pat or two. Don't, let's not go crazy. But seriously, this is a serving of green beans that's going to last 4 people over the course of 2 to 3 days, sometimes 4 days. It's a lot of green beans. That gets cooked seriously between 8 to 10 minutes and it's done. Next, that I cook up in the same pan after I take all the stuff out is spinach. Spinach cooks so quickly. No time, little butter, tiny bit of oil. The spinach wilts. It's beautiful. You don't want it to cook it too long. I add salt to both of them while they're cooking. I would say I can get both of my vegetables done somewhere between a span, I would say close to 15 minutes, but that might be a little aggressive, between 15 to 20 minutes total, and I'll have two vegetables done. At this point now, I have two proteins, two vegetables. I have a starch source that is currently in the oven. The next thing that I'll do is most likely do either taco meat, or I might do another type of chicken or steak. So the taco meat for me is a pound of low fat ground beef, a pound of very low fat turkey. I just smash the heck out of those together with taco seasoning, a little bit of tomato sauce, and, you know, garlic powder, and she's good. I adjust the spiciness according to like how often I think I'm going to eat that versus my kids. Like one of my kids likes spice, the other one of my kids doesn't. So I try to like make a happy medium. Sometimes I'll make a bland batch for my other child. And that is something that takes care of Monday night dinner because my kids love taco Mondays, not Tuesdays. It has to be Monday. I don't get that. But anyway, they like taco Mondays, and the leftover winds up taking care of lunch for me for at least 3 days with a vegetable. Another one that you can do is the pre-seasoned steaks. So I'll get pre-seasoned like carne asada steaks from Trader Joe's, just as an example, and I'll cook those up too. And that's easily 3 to 4 servings of a protein, depending on what the macros are that I'm shooting for. So I would say the taco mix takes me, it's so fast. It takes me maybe 10 minutes to cook that. So, in the span of an hour, we have sweet potatoes, you have salmon, you have the thinly sliced chicken breasts that are easy to cut up at this point in pre measure. I also have taco meat done, and you could even add steak on there. Food prep does not have to be an all day ordeal. Now, when you first go to do food prep, it is going to feel awkward. You're not going to know where everything is. You might find yourself like not in a system. I am used to this. So it's just like a methodical linear thing for me. Like I just immediately know what's happening first, what's happening second, what's happening third. Now, is it exciting food? No. But I mean, I'm kind of easy. Like I get excited about food no matter what I'm eating. But this takes care of the basics. The way I try and take a look at my breakfast and my lunches is this is not necessarily food for me to enjoy. This is food to get the job done. And when I'm eating it, I'm fine. I am enjoying it. I think I had this weird perception that every meal I had to be something that was absolutely delicious. Having food that is absolutely delicious is wonderful, but it's going to get me fat. It's just that simple. So, highly palatable food is good for special occasions. It's not great for me during the week, especially now that I am in midlife and my metabolism has changed, my body composition has changed, and I am actively trying to, I would say, mitigate and work against those factors. So, I would say to you that I could very easily get food prep done for myself and for my family that will take us from Sunday through Wednesday, sometimes even through Thursday, inside an hour and a half. I don't like cooking that far beyond that time intent. Like when I do chili or something like that, that can definitely last a lot longer. But I find that I will just do like one or two proteins on Wednesday. I'll do 3 to 4 proteins on Sunday. Wednesday is a little bit of a top up just to get me through the week. But that's what my food prep process looks like. It's really very simple. It does not have to be that involved. What really needs to change here is my perception about the function of food, the function of food prep, that it's giving me a food source that I can control, that I know the exact macros, I know the fats, I know the sodium, I know all of those things, and it's portion controlled. So I am very, I would say, boring with breakfast. I have usually 1 to 2 breakfasts. I'll definitely have 2 lunches. If I'm going to work past 4:30, I pack a dinner. And dinner for me is just another lunch. It's just the same kind of protein, vegetables. Maybe I'll throw a carbohydrate in there. I do like having those Japanese sweet potatoes with one of my meals. It depends on how aggressively I'm cutting. So I am in prep right now for another competition. So, my macros definitely look a little different than they did a couple months ago. There's a definitely a little bit less carbohydrates, but I like sweet potatoes or Japanese sweet potatoes in place of rice for those carbohydrates because I get um, more volume of potato for less of a caloric load. So, anyway, before I go off on another tangent on something completely different, I just hope that this video helped demystify the process of food prep. It really does not have to be that involved. You just need to be focused. My family doesn't really come in the kitchen when I'm cooking. I put on a Netflix, uh, what's the word that we like to use? Guilty pleasure. Like I was just recently watching The Ultimatum while I was cooking. I'll do something like that. And in an hour and a half, I'm done. So if there's anything else you'd like to know about food prep, put it in the comments. I hope this was helpful. And I would love it if you would like or subscribe to these videos. It would mean the world to me. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.